Just Incredible here with a Mega Man X3 100% speedrun tutorial on Doppler 2. Just in the previous stage, we picked up the gold armor, which gave us all 4 of the armor chips that we could not get in the 8 Mavericks. And as you see here, in the 4 stages I have highlighted, the question marks are all turned white. And now we have every item in the 8 Mavericks. There is still one enhancement that we still have yet to pick up to complete our 100% definition, and that is Zero Z Saber, and we get that in this very next stage. And this is also the stage for the infamous elevator skip. So, with the very beginning of the stage, it's a little bit movement heavy until we get to the mini boss fight. So, starting from the beginning, you can either start charging up for neon jumps, or if you're just starting and you might have an easier time with just using Tri-Thunder for protection as you climb this first vertical section. But if you're using neons, you just want to do some dash jumps. And as you proceed over this Victoroid, he's going to turn around and fire a laser in this direction. And if you go as fast as possible, you will likely hit it every time. So you might want to just barely pause, dash in midair, and just let the laser pass, and then you can set up for a neon jump. And then as you neon jump, you can do 2 walled kicks and climb up to this ledge here. And if you can get onto the ledge just before the Victoroid fires a laser, you can actually dash under it, and you won't get knocked down or anything. And then afterwards, you can either jump in place and then do a press neon in place to get to the wall, or you can up dash. It just depends on what you're comfortable with doing. And then if you have Tri-Thunder, you can actually use it to kill this Caterkiller that's right here. You can't see it because I've got all these X sprites in the way. And that'll help you get up to the top here. And then once you get to the top, if you still want to use neons, you can charge up as you go. You do a dash jump, do your second air dash, and then neon jump off of that. And that'll get you up high to the ceiling, and that'll get you high enough out of these guys' range of their lasers. And you just bypass them that way. Or if you just have Tri-Thunder, you can always jump over each one of them at a time and then move on that way. I'll demonstrate both methods here. So I'm going to do the neon jump method first. Bonking that guy, and I missed the neon there, but I could have easily proceeded on, but I'm going to try to get it. There you go. You just need 1 neon jump to get over all that mess. So now we're going to do the Tri-Thunder. Just do an up dash, wait for that guy to shoot, up dash again, dash, and then just dash jump, and then move on. Now for the second section here, once you pass these guys, now you want to prepare a frost shield, a charged frost shield, for the underwater section, like we did in Toxic Seahorse, because we're going to use the charged ice block to fabricate a ledge to get up to the point where we can swap to 0. So you're just going to dash forward, you're going to fall down this long vertical passage, you're going to try not to touch the ledges, and you certainly don't want to touch this pod, because if you land on it, since you have rod armor, you'll get forced into a menu and you have to cancel out of it before you can move on, and that'll cost you some time. And you lose your charge in the process, so you really want to avoid touching this on your way down. And then right before you, or you can either do it before you touch the water or afterwards, touch the wall to get your air dashes back for the next section. So from here, don't want to do that. Now that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to fire off your Hyper C, but it probably won't matter, at least not yet. So I've already touched the wall for the next section here. So you want to have your charged frost shield ready when you just clear the protruding ceiling under the water. Do a full air dash and hold right, and then as you fall, you want to just tap the dash button again for the second air dash. That'll get you enough length to reach this ledge, and then you're going to dash under Taurus and then jump just past it. Once you pass its height, you're going to release your frost charge, and then as you come down off of your jump, it's going to solidify, giving you your block to jump on, and then you'll jump up to this wall here, and that's where you'll switch to 0. And then as 0, you want to start charging up to the Z-Saber level, and that's the green charge. You do not have to be at a green level before hitting this door. You can still continue charging during the Mosquitoes fight. Full dash, tap dash, dash, release. And as you see, I kind of muffed that a little bit. So I'm going to go all the way back and reattempt it. There we go. I kind of jumped late there. So now you swap to 0 and start charging up for the green saber. This is the only mini-boss 0 can fight. If Mosquitoes does that, just unload your blast and then saber him. Now we got the Z-Saber. Okay, the Z-Saber, it replaces your highest level charge that X has. So in 100%, his highest level charge was the red level. You won't see that anymore. Now what will happen is when X charges up, when he reaches the pink charge, the next charge will be green. And that gives you both the full blast charges from the red charge, plus it gives you the Z-Saber right afterwards. As shown here. See, there's no red. And you still get your 2 full blast and then your saber. Now you see in 100% you get your saber actually is a beam. So in addition to an up close saber, if nothing hits it, you also get a beam, which can also hit anything along that line. And also, just like when we use 0 in the intro, it also locks you down to the ground if you use it. So if you have to use it, try to use it in the air for more control over X. See, I can move a lot better with him in the air. We'll talk about more how that impacts Hyper C in the Saber Rush. So once we come out of the Mosquito door, we want to go to Triad Thunder. So for this section, we're just going to dash jump up to here. Once we get off of this ledge, we're going to dash jump, use the second dash to come over the Victoroid, and as I come down, I'm going to activate Triad Thunder, and it's going to take out this Walk Blaster. And he's going to land right here on this little part of the ground. And then as soon as I land, if I jump, as soon as I land, this Victoroid's going to shoot a laser, and that laser won't hit him. So then I do a full jump, and then do 2 up dashes to get up to the ledge here, and then continue on. And then once I get here, I can either land here and jump, and then do an up dash, or try to do the second air dash in the middle of the dash jump. Either way's fine. But then once you make my way up to this last wall here, this Helot's going to come down and try to hit me. So I want to use the Triad Thunder as soon as I can to take him out. And if you're fortunate enough, you can take out this Helot here. And then we'll go on with the elevator skip. So I'm going to do that section now. This is a very basic section. Dash, press, 2 up dashes. Now I up dashed early, so I ended up bonking off the wall. So I have to jump over there again. And then that's basically it. Some of the more advanced runners like to do neons, but that's a little bit risky in my opinion. So 2 up dashes, another up dash. Okay, now we're at the elevator skip. This elevator skip is just a series of combining your up dashes along with Triad Thunder and damage boosting to get to the top. So let me zoom this in a little bit here. Okay, starting at the bottom, we're going to use our 2 air dashes. We're going to dash jump, activate Triad Thunder, and then dash up to take out the shell covering this Escasnail, and it will reveal a platform. We're going to use this platform to get more height, and combined with an air dash, this helmet will come on screen and will fire a missile if we're in its range. We're going to use the missile to take damage and use its invincibility to climb up the spikes. Now, this section is very, very time sensitive. You have to be very quick on your movements, because if you let your invincibility run out and you touch the spikes, you're dead. And dying eliminates the possibility of what's called explosion skip, which I'll discuss after I do the elevator skip tutorial here. So we want to use our 2 air dashes to get up on the snail. We're going to jump and then air dash up, and we want to get as close to the spikes without touching them as we can. So when we take damage, we only take a little bit of knockback, and then we can start climbing the wall. And then after we're going to do 3 wall kicks, and after the 3rd wall kick, we're going to jump over toward the center. We're going to use a Triad Thunder before we do an up dash, because we cannot do any projectile shots during an up dash. And I'll do that here. See, I'm pressing Y during the up dash. I can't get no triads. But if I do it before, then I can air dash freely. And this is important to get to the other side of the room as we do the elevator skip, because we're going to be doing a up dash and then left dash motion. Well, I forgot to take that slide. I'll show it again. I can't shoot a projectile during an up dash. See, I'm trying to shoot, but I can't. But what we want to do, we want to jump off the spikes and do this kind of motion. That's what we're needing to do. And I'm going to get some more health here, because that's a little weary. Okay, I should still have plenty of Triad Thunder. So we're going to go ahead and do the first section. We're just going to dash jump, dash up dash, climb up, get close to the spikes, up dash, let the helmet shoot a missile, and then afterwards we're going to do 3 kicks, 1, 2, and then off the 3rd we're going to jump over, activate Triad, up dash, and then left dash. One, two, three, up. Now see, I'm early. I waited too long. Now, just dying there eliminated the possibility of explosion skip happening, and I'll explain that later. So I have to do this whole section again. So let's try that again. If the snail starts moving down, you have to start over, because you cannot afford to let the snail move down. 1, 2, 3, up dash, left dash. That was the first section. Now, once on Escasnail number 2, we're going to jump close to the spikes and perform 2 fully extended up dashes, making sure that the second dash is right after the first, so we get enough height to where after the second dash we can bonk into this helmet that's going to come down from the top of the screen, and he's going to be right in our path to take damage. Now, after taking damage, we're going to be invincible. So just like before down here, we're going to jump off the spikes, activate Triad Thunder, and then just do 2 full up dashes. And the top triad should take out the Escasnail up here, the shell, that is. It should take out the shell, allowing us to climb on top of it. Now, depending how soon the Escasnail spawns will determine if it's going to start moving down. And if it moves down, then we have to wait for this helmet that I got shown here to fire a missile, and we take damage, just like at the very start, to climb up and finish the elevator skip. And that's basically what this is saying up here at the top. Depending if this the snail is still at its position shown, we can just do 2 up dashes to get out of this section. and finish the skip. But if the snail moves down, then we have to wait for the helot to shoot at us because we can't touch the spikes or we die. So we let the missile hit us, and then we use the invincibility to climb back to this level, then jump off and do 2 up dashes to finish out. And then as we finish the elevator skip, you want to start charging up to green for the Volkuragle fight. Now, as you've seen, I have to start this section over. But now I'm going to do the elevator skip up to getting onto that 3rd Escanel. Now, if you're out of the helot's range there, which you can be, if you're too far away, for some reason, the helot won't fire a missile. 3, 2 up dashes, bonk, try thunder, 2 up dashes. Now you've seen that the snail started moving down right there. So I'm going to have to take a missile hit from that helot there, which he's already started shooting, so he might not do that now. So I may just have to wait for the snail to slowly go up, or I have to fabricate neon jumps. And then I could just get the saber ready for the Volkuragle fight. So just to review, we're going to start over down here. We're going to dash, jump, up dash with the Tri-Thunder active to take out this the shell for the platform. Jump up dash to let the helot fire a missile. We want the missile to hit us as we fall, and then we take damage. 3 kicks, jump to the middle of the screen, activate your Tri-Thunder before you start your up dash. And that's really the most technical part of this skip, is getting that Tri-Thunder off before you dash. And then up dash, left dash onto this snail. Then we jump, do 2 full dashes, and we bonk into the helot. And we get knocked back to the top part of these spikes. During our invincibility, we're going to jump and shoot a Tri-Thunder, and then 2 up dashes again will get us up to this snail. And then if the snail is still at the top when we jump off, we just jump off and start holding a charge for the Volkuragle fight, and then 2 final up dashes will get us up to the top. And then if the snail moves down at this part, we just let the helot come down, let it fire a missile at us, and then we use our invincibility from it to climb back up, and then jump, and then do 2 air dashes to finish out the skip. So back to Tri-Thunder again. 1, 2, 3, activate, up left, 2 up dashes, activate, 2 up dashes. I'm going to hold charge since the snail went down. Ditch the 2 shots for the Volkuragle fight. Now, the reason that I'm fighting Volkuragle here, because normally if you do not kill Vile during the 8 Maverick run, you have to fight Vile here. But since we already killed him, we fight an alternate boss, and it's called Volkuragle. Now, before I go into the fight with Volkuragle and show how you should fight him, I'm going to talk about Explosion Skip. Explosion Skip is very, very particular in the fact that you have to do this skip almost flawlessly in one attempt to get Explosion Skip. Basically, what is happening is that we're moving so fast up this vertical section, faster than the game expected us to, and as we proceed up this stage, as we proceed in every stage of the game, enemies and stuff will get into the game's memory, and then as we pass certain things, stuff gets taken out of memory. Well, we're going so fast up this vertical shaft that the game cannot load everything it's supposed to in time into the game's memory. And what happens is something is getting left out. We're going so fast that something is getting skipped. Well, in this case, if we do this skip perfectly, the explosion sequence after we kill the boss does not happen. It gets left out and it goes right to the fanfare music, and we teleport out almost instantly. The explosion skip also is dependent on certain factors during this climb. Number one, this first hellet that fires, you have to lead it up so far as you climb, up to a certain distance. And the reason is because this hellet is taking up the game's memory where the explosion loads. So if this hellet is still alive at a certain point during the skip, the explosion is supposed to load in its place. Now this is just my opinion and what I believe is happening to the game. Some other people may disagree with this, but this is what I believe is happening to why explosion skip happens or does not happen. So you lead this hellet up so far, and I believe it's about right in here. The explosion for the boss of this stage will load at this moment. If this hellet is still alive at that point, the skip should happen, provided a few things also happens. First, we don't fall back down, because if we fall back down and we have to do this again, it's very likely the skip or the explosion sequence will get loaded. Also, this moment here, and I've seen this happen to many people that I've watched runs. If you don't do this left dash onto the snail above him, and you end up doing too low, and you actually grab the side of this snail and have to climb up, I don't think you don't get the skip that way either. So you have to fall down onto the back of its shell to even have a chance of getting it. I could be wrong. And also, I believe this hellet here that you take damage off of will actually shoot a missile before you get hit. Now, it's really hard to tell when you're playing this at real time, but if you see some of the elevator skip attempts I do, you might see him shoot a missile. I believe that causes the skip to happen too. There's just so many things during this point of the game that happens. It's hard to tell why any of it would contribute to getting the skip. Now, another thing, if you die, like I did just a little while ago, you will never get the skip. Because the skip, you have to get the skip on the very life that you play the stage on. Because when the game reloads everything after you die, it actually loads the skip into the game. If you were to start the stage from the very beginning, it has so much stuff that loads and unloads, is that it's easy to get the explosion sequence to not load. But if you start from only halfway through the stage, it's very likely, almost guaranteed, that you will not get the skip. For beginners, don't even worry about what I'm talking about explosion skip, because it will not matter. It's only a 10-second time save. But it's just a neat little quirk that can happen in this stage if you can do this skip flawlessly and on the first try. Now, that's not all to trigger explosion skip. We also have to kill this boss in a certain manner, and we have to kill it with the ranged version. We have to kill it with the saber beam, not an up-close saber shot. Now we ditch the shots. You have to kill it with the beam. Now, some people like to dash as the boss meter drains to try to get the skip, but really you don't have to do that. You can just stand still, because whether the skip happens or not is not dependent on that. Unless, if you get hit in the air with a missile as the boss meter drains, you have to do an up dash to try to get the skip to happen. That is the backup to getting the explosion skip. If you do the climb perfectly, you just do an up dash as the boss meter is disappearing, and you might have a chance of getting it. It's not guaranteed. But that is how you do Doppler 2 in the elevator skip.